And we are live. What's up, people?
Oh crap!
Got to feel good here. OGAL number 24, I believe. We're getting on up there. And not sure if some of you guys noticed, the doctor is back in terms of how I'm classified on Google Plus. I'm not sure if some of you guys noticed that.
No one
Shut your
cares.
ass up.
Yes,
Anyway,
doctor.
but anyway, tonight is free topic all the way. I don't really care what you guys bring up. You know the rules. No politics, no religion. Unless there's something funny about Trump, but we try to stay away from that. But anyway,
I honestly got nothing much
Just,
else to say
just
about
saying
Trump, to
Trump
be
is
honest.
funny, so you ain't even got to say anything beyond that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
whatever you guys want to talk about, gaming wise or even life, it's free topic. I know in the Hangout chat we're in daily. I think was it Triple M that brought up the some Phil Spencer news about his promotion, and then of course I countered that with a who you think was worse. Well, first I said that Phil Spencer. Why did they give him promotion? I said, well, he did a better job than the other guy, which is Don Matrick, which is
The
true.
metric.
And then I said, well, here's a follow up question. You know, who did a worse job, Don Matrick or Bernie Stoller? And of course, it went downhill from there. But we can start out with that or anything else.
That's why I stayed away from that conversation. I saw it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not touching that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't like I say, free topic. Y'all go ahead, whatever you want to talk about.
Brave Frontier, mobile gaming, Guild Wars. Let's do it.
All that good.
Guild Wars?
I'm being facetious because I know none of you guys are
Is-
interested in mobile gaming. I actually play mobile games on occasion. Brave Frontier and Brave Exvius, and of course Fire Emblem. But
What?
yeah.
No Pokemon Go?
Oh, I do. Oh, I caught like a dozen Pokemon today easily. There's a special event going on. You get double Stardust.
Okay.
Ugh.
All good.
Nah,
Good for you.
the next Pokemon game for me is the re-release of Gold and Silver tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw the notifications.
Oh yeah, and also
My
Pokemon.
point is, we grown ass men talking about double Stardust for Pokemon. that, that lets you know
Answer
what
the
that game's
question.
target audience really is.
As say, do we give a shit? No, we don't.
Oh wow! Really?
No, I mean, the whole thing is, if you're cool with it, great. If you're not, that's still not my problem. We live our lives. And the thing is, the misconception of we've had this conversation a gajillion times. Misconception society have about gamers is exactly that, a misconception. Because they're like,
Oh,
oh, when gamers do stuff and they're social rejects and they're violent and blah blah blah. No, it's simply an outlet. It's simply another hobby. Each person reacts to it differently. That's all it is.
and like
If
if you can hear me, it's just
people are
random
retard, they're gonna be a
topics, man.
retard. If they're smart, they're gonna be smart.
This is really
So,
random.
That's
is it
normal
okay
for him.
to start my
You
topic?
just got inside, you're
or-
probably doing the dishes and stuff.
Hang on, what's that game again?
Guys,
Yeah, we can hear you.
is it okay I could start my own topic, or are we in the middle of a topic?
Oh
No,
hey, who's running this?
I'm just messing with. I'm just messing with him. He could go. Calm down. Relax. Have some dip.
Oh, I
Gilligan. Go ahead, Gilligan.
Okay, so I guess I'm probably the first one to acknowledge about this. So when Doom was announced for the Nintendo Switch, right? I think like shortly after, there has been people, and I saw in the replies in the Twitter on Bethesda's Twitter page, they're saying that oh, the game's gonna get censored because it's Nintendo and all that stuff. Oh, and it's gonna look inferior. And okay, so obviously we all know that Doom on the Switch is probably not gonna look as good as the the other versions, especially the PC version, of course, obviously. But the whole censorship thing, um, they have been proven wrong because if you saw the gameplay footage of Doom on the Switch, there is tons of blood and gore and brutal violence. All the stuff you can do on the PS4, Xbox One, PC versions, you can do it exactly on the Switch version.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought the whole it's going to be censored. I just don't like they don't do
You know
that kind of
why?
stuff anymore like that.
Do you know why? Most of the people that are talking that smack has not paid attention to Nintendo in over a decade. They're stuck the types. Period. That's
No, wait
what
a
it is.
minute.
They're
Most of these
stuck in
people
the
that
they're
talk
stuck
this
in
stuff don't
the
know anything. They're stuck in the Nintendo 64 era.
So hold on, Commander. Are you basically telling me that these guys didn't know about the Binding of Isaac situation?
Silence is golden.
the Binding of Isaac situation. Oh yeah, I remember that, but the Binding of Isaac couldn't been on the Nintendo platform because of the whole religious stuff. But they changed their minds on that one.
Yeah.
And now the Binding of Isaac is on the Switch as well, basically.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you said that because you know what? Some of our audience might not have known that. So good.
I think at this point because like the internet and stuff, like I guess Nintendo think, it's up to the people to make decisions for themselves if they like this information that's going to be on the game or not. Because we've seen with the Switch how more like progressive they are compared to like their past systems.
You know what's the funny thing too? It's like even if from what I've seen on Doom on the Switch, even if the game's running on 30 frames per second, the game, from what I've seen off screen, still looks fantastic. It looks it literally exactly like the other versions.
Yeah.
All I have to say is
Almost.
Doom at a decent resolution. Wow, resolution. That made a new word. Is a decent resolution on the go. That's all you need to know. It's friggin' Doom on the go.
Yeah.
You know, people.
That's
There's gotta
what
be
people
some.
don't realize that. Do you realize games of good, if not great, quality on the go?
Yeah. I mean,
Some
Yeah.
people are still going.
it doesn't have to be that much noticeable in handheld mode.
We're not
Like
getting
on
like.
TV.
Here's the thing: we're not getting like a quote unquote console like experience on the go, a la the PSP and the PS Vita. No, we're getting a full fledged console experience on the go.
Yep.
Yep.
No, you're not because it's not in 4K.
And it's got 30 frames per second.
Listen. You know the rules. If I'm here, I'm the only one doing the trolling. What's wrong with you?
and
Come
Mr.
on,
T too.
come on, Commander. It's called first dibs.
Mr. T too.
Fine.
Dog, you know if the Switch was in 4K, it'd be like what, like $1,000.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah, just
whole
like the
thing. And
iPhone
that's what a lot of these people that are quick. Yeah, that's the whole problem. The people are quick to judge, and like you do realize, you get what you pay for. You kind of get more than
They
what you
already
pay
have
for.
complaining about the Switch being $300. And, it's too expensive. I mean, yeah, sure, $300 is a lot of money. Not
But
being,
considering what you're getting for $300,
yeah,
and
exactly.
that's the thing. Like, if you want 4K, it's probably going to cost at least $600-$700 minimum.
Yeah.
More than that.
It's probably closer to, I was gonna say, truthfully, $1,000. Let's be real.
Yep.
I mean, you gotta think about like those other consoles that be like that's around.
So
that
you're
price
telling
tag.
me-
Even back then, if you adjust for inflation.
So you're telling me if the Switch was 4K, it would cost as much as an iPhone X?
You're funny. You are funny.
You know, that could not be farther from the truth, but we're just playing semantics here.
I mean, I see a lot of. I believe it. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yep, but that's not Nintendo. Nintendo don't care for the visuals; they go for gameplay. So that squashed that idea.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Because
then, and even,
they go for balance and economy. The maximum they could do at a reasonable price.
and plus,
I know
the
it's a
thing
weird
is that they
concept.
decided to go for visuals like, this can do 4K and stuff. Then people be complaining about, oh man, why is it like $900? I'm like, I thought you guys wanted the best graphics.
As Chef just said, I mean, he said many times before, they're gonna complain because they gotta complain.
Yep.
Oh, by the way,
Because I'm surprised, even IGN is calling out third parties now. Because
Yeah,
I saw
I
that video.
saw that.
I was surprised to see that
no.
video.
Hold on.
What a time
IGN
to
called
be
out somebody.
alive.
Who they call out?
They call out Capcom,
IGN.
Ubisoft, Activision,
What?
EA.
what? Ubisoft?
Yeah,
Yo,
No, Ubisoft is
Yeah,
actually
let's
doing
talk
good.
about this. I didn't hear about this, so let's talk about
listen.
this.
Endor. It is not April 1st. It is not April 1st. I don't know what you're talking about.
What a time to be alive.
let me see. I should be able to find a video.
2017 is a weird year.
Yep.
It is.
But
We
yeah.
saw how we started the year. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but they did. I was surprised to see it. Trust me, I was. I was like, what? Dang, they
Wait,
call it out
which?
third parties,
Okay, which Nintendo voice chat is this?
Okay, give me
not
an
voice
example of what
chat,
they said about one of them.
not voice chat. It was just a regular video. Say Nintendo caller. Give me a second. I'll find it and I'll share it in the chat.
Yeah, they're literally saying like, "Yo, these third parties are running out of excuses now."
Exactly. That's what it said. That's what it said.
My goodness.
Bethesda just showed you guys. Bethesda just showed you guys that you're around exclusives. Around excuses.
That's
Hell
why
has
I
frozen
have a
over.
whole. That's what I'm gonna say this right now. I have a whole new level of respect for Bethesda right now.
I
owns-
don't.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't.
I wouldn't go that far.
They're smart. They found another developer to develop the. I forgot the name of the company to develop the game for Switch. The Bethesda's
Yeah,
not
but
doing it.
this is huge. The fact that Bethesda is actually making people like IGN to really think about it and realize that the rest of the third parties are actually kind of being full of crap, like we've been saying about them for God knows how long.
A decade, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about the developer that's actually porting these games, or at least Doom, was it Panic Button, which is also the same one that's porting Rocket League on the Switch.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of. Okay.
Man, where is the screw attack?
Screw it.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Sam.
This ain't screw you. That's what they're saying.
Okay, well, I have a quick question then, and I know it's irrelevant at this point, but what are the chances that you guys think that these same naysayers, and I'm referring to the gamers now, with this recent news that even IGN is starting to call out people, how many people actually go back and examine, the lies that were told about the Wii U in its games?
Oh, they're not going to do
They're
that.
not gonna do that.
I'd say
No one is going to do that.
No. I wouldn't say no one. I'd say one in every 25,000.
Yeah,
Let me
trolling.
rephrase that. Let me
She's
rephrase that.
trolling.
That time around, I'm actually being dead serious. That's the sad part.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. I shouldn't went absolute. Let's just say there's going to be just one person that's going to do that, and when he finally published what he researched all those four years, that thing is going to be drowned out by other cow manure.
Yeah. Well, if anybody needs to know, it's in the side chat. That's the video.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool.
Crap, I can see it.
All right, to the bookmark.
Yep. So, but yeah, I'm cool. I'm happy that they could Bethesda's doing publishing these games and saying making the decision. No, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Nothing really makes me feel that I want to buy the game still. But there are people on the platform and there are people on the fence. This is something good for them, and hey, there we go.
My ideal game to buy from Bethesda right now, it used to be like in a way like Skyrim, but
Okay.
now that but here's the thing, I always wanted Doom to be on the Switch, and they're finally actually giving it to me, and it's like this is like the best thing ever. It's like they're putting Doom on the
The
Switch.
best thing ever would be if they used the motion controls. That's why I got Doom on PC. I still use I'm as Triple M and me talked about. I'm spoiled by the remote, so I'm using the remote on
Oh
PC.
yeah.
So
Hey man,
I'm sticking to it.
hey man, mouse and keyboard though.
Yeah, you can keep your mouse and keyboard. I want my nunchuck and Wii remote. That is that to me. Other than mouse and keyboard, that is the ultimate thing for playing first person shooter. And sorry, I'm playing it on my PC.
I prefer remote.
Wait, so you're actually using the Wiimote nunchuck for the PC version of Doom?
Yeah,
Wow, that's pretty.
I do that
an
for.
adapter.
I've done that with shooters, first person shooters, Call of Duty, all that stuff. Yeah, I got to adapt. There's an adapter that I bought that I could connect my Wii One nunchuck to my PC.
You know Capcom is actually
Yeah,
doing that with Resident Evil Revelations, right?
That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm hearing. We should see execution first, though. Talk is talk. That's good that they're doing it. Don't get me wrong. That's good that they're doing it, and that will make me buy the game. Really, but I should have done that with the Wii version, the Wii U version
I'll watch this after
on
the
the
show.
Wii U version of Revelations, but they didn't do it. So let's see what if they're doing that this time. That's good. I'm looking forward to it because again, I'm not looking. I'm a big Metroid fan, and I'm not looking for no. As an option, cool for people who want dual sticks. I do not want dual sticks for a Prime. As an option, but not as the main thing.
Yeah,
Metroid Prime 4 needs that gyro.
yeah.
Needs something. If
You,
you're not
you
giving it,
know,
you're not gonna give me the Joy-Con to do the thing, then which I know there's a way you could do it. Give me the gyros. Something. I'm not playing. I hate this thing.
Here.
it's the thing. Like, the Joy Cons are capable of doing Wiimote like controls. Like, as a matter of fact, one of the games that kind of utilize it well is World of Goo. Like,
Yeah, no, you could do that. It's using the eye. Okay, it's trying to put a sensor on there so you could use it as a, you know, they need to use the sensor of the gyros to figure out where the ridicule could be so you could get the shots. It's gonna be a little you could do it. It's a little more difficult than having something connected to the TV to point to, but it can't happen.
I'll be using the Joy-Con motion controls tomorrow. Definitely try it out. Try how the motion controls are. For,
Ain't no freaking way I'm doing that. Nope. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't doing that.
You still need the adapter for it.
I'm not doing that for that game.
Man, you don't want to do Kamehameha or
Hell
Final
no.
Flash?
Hell no.
Joy-Cons
Hell no.
or Charge Up?
All buttons from that. It didn't work for Borderkai Tenkaichi, and I doubt it will work that well for this too.
God,
Let's see if
such
they
a
learn from their
weeb,
mistake.
right?
I did hear that the motion controls for
What the hell?
Skyrim is
I
actually pretty
Skyrim
bad.
movie.
That's what I've been hearing.
Well, again, that's what I said with Capcom. Let's wait and see execution. I'm not saying I'm happy that they're doing it, but let's see execution. That's all I'm asking.
But here's the thing, like they managed to do that
Attack
flawlessly with Resident Evil 4. You know?
Yeah, but that's different. That's a different system than what it is now. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's wait until. And the only person I know that could do a ridicule shooter would be Nintendo. If anybody else want to jump in and do better than that, then that'll be good. It's up to them to do it. Let's see what happens. It's just as a wait and see attitude right now. Because we can't prove wrong, we can't prove right until we see what they do. I'm not gonna speculate and say, I have seen that you can do it with some indie devs showing it how you can do the reticle basically with the Joy-Cons with the gyros. But again, I'm not seeing a full application in the game. I just seen like test the games and just figuring out how to work the dev kit.
So developers, other than Nintendo, that jumped on the Switch, show your worth.
Yeah, have fun with it. That's all it is. I mean, again, I'm not against. I am not against Bethesda putting these games on there. This is good. They want Nintendo needs variety. That's good. People got it, and like the video said it, like the IGN video say, you ain't got excuses. Put the games out there. I mean, seriously, there was no excuse to not have Okami HD on Nintendo Switch. No excuses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is because Xbox One has higher sales.
now, unless they literally say they have no comment or they didn't have plans for the Switch for Resident Evil. Okay.
That's stupid.
Dang it. Gotta go, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm trying to see if I can come back, but I can't make no promises.
All right, man. Thanks for coming.
You know, little man.
Peace.
Yeah, that's just craziness. Let's not lie to nobody now. Come on.
But come on,
Capcom, look, that game would work on a Switch. And again, I'm not saying gotta be. I'm happy that I'm one of the person who always say I don't care that it's going to PlayStation, Xbox One. I want everybody to play the games. But that game's so better on a Nintendo console. The facts are there. And for Capcom to not put it on a Nintendo console is stupid. That's just stupid. They've been doing dumb decisions all this year. I don't get it.
Oh yeah, especially with
well, in my opinion, the reason why they're making dumb decisions for the most part, at least to me, like you say, there's no reason why it should not be on the Switch. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever. None. You can't even buy a reason. But then technically, you can. And you know what I mean by a reason.
I know you can, but again, they started off the first quarter with a $2 million loss.
Shit.
So they're not off to a good start.
Don't be a troll.
What troll? That's facts. You know I did a video about it.
Look, the IR pages, man. The IR pages.
They lost $2 million already. So what the heck? Not a good start for the first quarter of your fiscal year.
Well, they're about to drop Street Fighter 6, so I'm pretty sure they'll make everything.
Oh, come on.
Now they just dropped that Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Now, you know what? No, they're gonna drop Street 6. You gotta buy the fighter by pre-order.
Oh God.
Whatever.
Come on, don't mention that.
Well,
it's already bad enough. It's already bad enough people gotta pay to get Venom when he was a default character in the other game.
Hey, check this out. So I'm at work yesterday, right? And a lot of the guys there actually got Switches, and their gamers, you know, with PC, console, whatever. Check this out. Had these guys, I think they're just, you know, they buy shit just because it's popular. You know the kind that Shadow Fox always talk about. But I heard one of them say, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up Marvel Capcom Infinite. And then someone else said, man, I don't know how to play that game. All I do is button mash. So it's the only way I can win. And the one that first mentioned about the game, he just says, it looks okay. I'm probably not going to play it, that much or whatever. But, I know a couple of friends who's going to be getting it. Yeah. You basically just admitted you don't really have much, if any, interest in the game, but you're still going to buy it.
Peer pressure, man. It's high school.
Well,
the gaming community is high school.
Well, let me flip it on this. Because I saw this and I don't like this either. Nintendo fans also spoiled it, bastard. I'm sick of after the direct, everybody bitching. Oh man, why this game on Switch? This game on Switch.
Yeah, that.
Why did buy Wii U? Why did you buy Wii U?
Hold on. Before we go any further, I just want to say, shout out to the YouTuber called Dano. They got on that glitch cast saying that the 3DS needs to die. Yeah, I'm looking at you fellas. You guys should know better.
You got 70 million games up there. Why would you leave 70 million fans to die?
Yeah, stop putting your emotions in front. You guys are supposed to be journalists.
Well, they don't run a business. Nintendo sees that money lying on the table and they're like, nah, man, I don't need that money. Just let it go. I'll support this. I'll support these 8-10 million Switches and just let that 70 million just let it lie on the table. I don't need to make money.
Listen, man, nobody want to play games in 360p no more.
I mean, my thing is like everyone talking about why this game and the other regarding the direct. I'm like, weren't you the same guy that's like, oh, Wii U has no games, it's just full of droughts?
Moving the goalposts.
And now these same people
Moving
want all the Wii U
goalposts.
games. They want all the Wii U games on the Switch. Bring over Smash. Hold on, but that's a dead console. Remember?
Yeah.
Bring this over. Wait, hold on a minute. You didn't want it on the old system, so we gonna buy the new one.
Perception, Doc.
No, these are the people who were too ashamed to have a system called the Wii U. So now all of these awesome games that they didn't buy, they're like, well, I want them on the Switch. And me as someone who owns a Wii U and a Wii and a GameCube, like have all these games. And a lot of them I have multiple times. I bought them, for when they came to the handheld or on the virtual console. I don't want a whole bunch of ports on the Switch. I really don't, because I already have these games. I don't want to buy them again.
It's like
This one is just prettier. Look, that mustache is a little bit more cut. That's how you know it's better. No.
It's like I just said, Doc. I said it's all about perception. People think ill, Wii U ill, but now with how the Switch is like, yeah, man, I want this
But
game.
now it's popular.
Game.
Yeah, now because it's popular now, they want all the games on the Switch. You didn't support the one before, and even though again, most of these games takes a while to make. So then you bitch if the game get delayed, and also then they gotta redo the whole assets for the Switch to get it to something that you guys would like, because you wouldn't want that kind of assets on the Switch. So it makes no difference. You gotta move the goalposts no matter what.
Yeah,
You know what? Speaking about that, it's not just that they were taunting about. They were like, "Where's F-Zero? Where's Animal Crossing? Where's
my thing is, why people should know better. Nintendo's not gonna put all the eggs in one basket. I mean, they're not gonna put every single game of all the IPs in 1 year.
like
It's not a year over yet.
This already got
that. Every time Nintendo listens to these people, do they go out and support it? Like, they made a Star Fox. We want a Star Fox. We want Platinum to make a Star Fox. We want a new Star Fox. They got a new Star Fox.
They gave them
and they didn't
exactly
buy
what
it.
they wanted.
Yeah, they didn't buy it. So, I mean,
at half the
point,
price?
Oh no!
Nintendo is doing so much better now that they don't listen to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But see, that's why I made a video months back. I said, Rich, Shokio, Next Gen. I said, guess what? Nintendo don't give a fuck about you. They have learned that anything you want, you're only talking shit. You're bumping your gums, but you definitely don't walk the walk. You talk it, but you don't walk it. I said Nintendo has said they've thrown deuces to you. Hey, if you don't like me, fine. If I've fallen off to you, take your ass over there and stay with PlayStation and Sony. They don't care anymore. They are not listening to me anymore.
Sony hasn't given. Sony is all out of fucks to give. They haven't cared since the PS2. Really.
Nintendo with the Switch has they have finally said, and to me, when they released that Super Bowl ad, that was Nintendo's way of publicly saying, "Fuck you guys."
Basically, yeah.
If you listen to the lyrics of that song, I don't know if Nintendo literally listened to that song and was like, "These lyrics are perfect." When you listen to the lyrics of that song, I was like,
Imagine Dragons
to all these
Unbeliever?
fake fans.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not going to go that far, but I will. I will say that the Switch, by and large, is basically just like literally like the people who hated the Wii U. The Switch is literally a Super Wii U.
Yep.
It literally, they're like, I don't like the Wii U because of the gamepad controller. Literally, the Switch is just a fucking gamepad. That's all it really is, with a dock. And so basically, everything they hated last gen, they now love. Oh my god, I love this. I love the fact I can take it anywhere. I'm like,
Well,
you notice how like people actually address some of the things like, oh, the Switch is actually missing like media apps and all that stuff. But now people don't seem to care because the system is selling well.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's a conundrum right there.
well, success covers a lot of sins.
And
You know,
that's
I got
true.
a
That is
question.
true.
Since you guys are talking about how Nintendo wasn't even supporting the gamepad as much as they should have. Okay, does every Switch game support the Joy Cons to the fullest capacity?
Nope.
No. But yet, you guys are happy. You have no issue. I don't understand that.
I mean,
Well, I mean, look, let's just keep it real. A lot of people are two-faced, all right, when it comes to this community.
that's what I got to feel like that called.
Harvey Two-Face.
They say stuff, and it's like, this does not make any sense, just from a technical standpoint, and they roll with it. They never mention how this makes no sense from a practical standpoint. And I mean, look, here's the thing: if they want to bitch and complain about Nintendo, fair enough. That's their job. But then the people who don't put that logic on the Microsoft and Sony, I'm like, well, why does Nintendo get the hate and no one ever directs that hate towards Microsoft and Sony? Because if you want to talk about companies that have been screwing over gamers for years,
look no further.
Yeah, look no further than them. No one ever said anything. Nah, man, I like paying for online, even though technically speaking, I already pay for online. Nah, man, I want remasters of stuff that came out last year. The PS4 got Uncharted 3, a remaster, and The Last of Us remastered. And The Last of Us that came out the year before. What type of bullshit is that? Really?
Well,
why do they get a pass for that?
Let's go to a happier place. Let's go to a happier place.
Well, before that, I want to talk about one thing, and I gotta go because, like I said, I'm trying to keep in contact with my family back home and everything. So.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Bring it up.
Triple M knows about this. I'm gonna do a video about this. I'm gonna do an LBC on Kotaku because.
Oh gosh.
Hold on.
Now, site is an LBC. Just saying.
Kotaku released a story about Nintendo, working for Nintendo in the 90s was a nightmare because they took an interview from Nintendo between Sakamoto and Kenichi Yamamoto about Metroid. And they spun the story and it ended the story at the part that is bad and left it there. The first comment was why the story ended abruptly, but they ended bad, and I'll show you the links to the video, whatever. You go to the source story. Gunpei Yokoi said, hey guys, this is not, because they could continue the story, but they didn't. Gunpei Yokoi said, hey guys, this is not fine art. You guys should go home. You don't gotta do this. They said, no, we like doing this. We want to make this game a fun game. So it was self-imposed. They did it because they wanted to. But to Kotaku spin it like Nintendo's forcing these guys to do it.
Well, here's what I'll say on that. There is that Japanese culture of almost like you work at something even to the detriment of your health and everything like that. And I mean, when is enough? Take a break, dude. But I mean,
the boss of the but Gunpei Yokoi, who was the executive producer of Metroid, said, "Hey guys, you don't need to work this much." He told them to go take a break, and they did not. So it was self-imposed. The thing is, that part was in the article that they ripped from. They didn't add that to the article.
Well, I mean, this is Kotaku, and we know that Kotaku loves to pick and choose things to fit their narrative. I mean, a lot of so-called journalists do that. I mean, I know, and again, I'm just liking like that's kind of messed up. So you took the bad part of what Yamamoto said, but you didn't finish off his story. It's like, oh man, I'm getting to the end, and these people, I went through dog and rain and water just to get to these people. But you know what? They appreciate it and they gave me $1 million. You forget that last part, you forgot. But the other part, everything else that was horrible, you let that go. And then you put up the false narrative of this Nintendo used to do this to bad people. And I'm gonna tell you this right now from my channel's perspective. I've said this from the first endcast. And this is not Nintendo. Every developer, I said from the first endcast. When it comes time, when it's time to go golden on this thing, every company goes to crunch time, and it's and nobody talks. And I've seen it firsthand with Ubisoft. I've seen it firsthand with EA, and I see it with Nintendo. I have to be honest. Platinum, Nintendo, the Ubisoft team that work with Red Steel, and Harmonix when they worked on Dance Central, the only people I've seen that was like
they wasn't killing people to work so hard in crunch time.
Well, you know what that is, because they probably have a solid way to make their games in the first place. Because really, I mean, crunch time is kind of like rushing really, really hard on a research paper because you didn't do the right amount of work in the start to get it done right the first time. And then, you know, you've got 3 days left. You're like, oh crap, I got to get this done. It's like, well, if you did the work beforehand, you wouldn't be doing crunch time right now.
Too soon, man.
No,
It's almost
I would say that, but every developer does go through that. Just
Well,
some
I
are
mean,
way
yeah.
worse than some. Yeah, some are just way worse than some.
And I will say this: when I first saw that post on Google Plus, I felt like, wait a minute, this is deja vu, because I could pretty darn sure know that this is not the first time I'm seeing articles like this, and especially about Nintendo.
Well, I mean,
And
but don't they all cherry pick stuff from Nintendo? Like, well, Nintendo needs to do this. Why? Because reasons.
But
You know?
I mean, but seriously, just to abruptly done to finish it right there is kind of crazy. And it's let's say you made this long article about you made your article. You basically clickbait the article, the headline. Then you talked and you took Yamamoto's quote, which he did say the stuff he said in a Kotaku thing, but they didn't. But they did not tell. They did not continue the story. They just stopped it abruptly. He was saying, "I wish I could go have Christmas. It was sad to see people out there enjoying fun, and I couldn't enjoy it with them. I felt jealous, and that's when he stopped it."
I mean, didn't they do the same thing when they were talking about Shigeru Miyamoto, talking about when they were making Nintendo games? They called it Mario, like he called it Mario Time. That was what he called the crunch time for Mario games.
But it goes in also to it also as going to what you were saying at the beginning, Red. It also goes to Sakamoto. They told Sakamoto to relax. He did. He self-imposed himself.
I mean, he's the one who destroyed his arm. That was on him. That was look. He should have taken a break.
Sakamoto? Isn't it Sakurai?
That was Sakurai.
I mean, Sakurai.
Yeah.
Well, Sakamoto too, but Sakurai too.
Yeah, that was.
Both of them. No, Sakamoto was in the discussion with Yamamoto in the topic I'm talking about now, but Sakurai meant. My mistake. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, that's part of their culture. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but that's just part of their culture. I mean,
it is.
That work ethic. In some ways, it's funny. In other ways, like
yeah. But you know what's funny? I want two things outside of that. What's funny is because of that. That's what Kenji Yamamoto, which I've talked to 3 times, and so I know it was like that's where he got the iconic song the beats that everybody likes in Super Metroid. Because he was tired and he was riding home on his bike. That story's also in there. I was riding home from my bike. I was tired. And he said it popped to me in my head. I got off my bike, recorded right there, hummed it, and sing it loud. And people think it. And Sakamoto was like, "You look crazy." He said, "Yeah, they look crazy, but people love the music now."
Yeah, I was dead tired, and I wanted to go. I wanted to take a break, but you got that from extreme tiredness.
Yeah, and the whole Metroid theme and the North Fair and all that stuff, Brinstar, that came from him being tired. Not saying that you have to do that, but I'm just saying it was just something that's like
people have inspirations from anywhere,
from the weirdest places or weirdest situations.
And
and last but not least, Gunpei Yokai's quote from that article, which is good, was basically which is hilarious to me. Let me see if I can find that quote that he said in that article, because that was really good. I want to make sure I say the quote perfectly. I don't want to mess up the quote.
Oh snap! And I read that whole article.
No, I got it right here. I just want to make sure I don't want to misquote a man. You know, if I'm quoting him, I'll quote him right. So, Gunpei Yokoi said, this is something that's happening badly right now in gaming, and this man said this back in 1994. Okay, this is what this man said: designers don't need to know about tech. If they do, they'll start claiming something is impossible before they try. And that is no good. Gunpei Yokoi said that.
Isn't that gaming now?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's still talk to this day.
We can't do this because it doesn't. It's not compatible with Unreal 4. Yeah. Whatever.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're taking that on Final Fantasy
Hold on.
15.
And again,
though.
Liger,
That's a man who said that back in 1994.
read that again, Liger. Read it loud and clear.
But
for
let's not
everyone to hear.
forget, Gunpei Yokoi is the old master. So
I know.
And this
Designers-
man, this man wasn't like I don't think he was classically trained to be like an engineer. I think didn't he just make the super hand thing they had?
Yeah, the Ultra Hand. Yep.
Yeah, the ultra hand. They were like, you know what, this is pretty damn cool. You should be in charge of our assembly line. Come up with our ideas and junk.
No, he was
Hold on,
basically.
hold on. I do want Liger to read it again so everyone can hear it clearly.
All right, one more time. Designers don't need to know about tech. If they do, they'll start claiming something is impossible before they try, and that's no good.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is spot on.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
And it always-
gaming.
But because
Yeah.
basically, and that's basically because in that article, and I got it on, you could check it on my from Google Plus on Enduo, because Yamamoto, not Yamamoto, Sakura, sorry, I'm so tired because I'm doing so much stuff. Sakamoto said that because of that, people because of that, people are thinking that pushing limitations is something that's done with numbers, but not having the limitations come up with creative ideas. As we know, since that's Metroid, that's where the Morph Ball came from, because they couldn't make Metroid to crawl. Samus to crawl, I should say.
Okay.
That's where the Morph Ball came from, because they couldn't, because of the limitations. And you think, let me try to redo this. That's why Mega Man slides, because he couldn't do the same thing either.
But isn't that technically all of? I mean, anything that's in creative, it's the limitations. It's people overcoming the limitations that make some of the more creative things.
And that is yes. Yeah, that is.
I mean, think about it. Some of the best movies that have come out this year were like had a budget of like 30 million. That's nothing, really.
Yeah.
But they're really good, because they basically were forced to be creative with the budget that they had, versus, we'll give you millions and millions of dollars to do whatever you want. And then you get something that's garbage.
Yeah, I'll say this. It is a good reel on Nintendo.com. So you can go to Enduo. You go to Enduo and you can see the post on there. It is a good read. It's a long article, but it's a long interview. But it's a good read, like, to find out how you design games, how they came with Metroid ideas and stuff like that. It's really good
yes.
to have that. And of course, to hear Gunpei Yokoi, who talked about making games and stuff, that all from his former, you could say, students. I mean, they know the guy intimately, and talking about him like that. Like, again, the Switch is basically still a schematics from something that Genyu Takeda took. So, the man, as Red Fox said, he was the Willy Wonka of his time.
Yep.
He came with a lot. He did so much schematics. He had an affair with the Virtual Boy because of the sales, but he had so many future thinking things. And he trained Genyu Takeda, who was the head of R&D, who stepped down this summer. And man, he did.
Can I add something to that, Enduo?
Go ahead.
As very flawed the Virtual Boy is, it was way ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's
The fact that it's a portable virtual console, like a portable virtual reality console.
That's the thing. It wasn't portable.
No, but here's the thing. I'll answer to your question. Genyu Takeda said that what Gunpei Yokoi said when he did develop that, he said he was thinking of it still as a toy other than being a gaming console, and you can see that as being like, it was kind of like a toy at its time, and that's what the flaw was.
Yeah.
He started with like how because I don't know about you, Gillian, because you're younger than us, but I know Mr. Red Fox and Triple M and Doc. Remember we had the viewfinders. Those things came out back then.
The viewfinders?
No, for real. Them viewfinders became popular. I remember them son of a guns when I was in St. Thomas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those
Yep.
things.
I never heard of viewfinders.
Yeah,
You never
they
see
were-
those little. You never saw the little microfiche thing. It's like a look like a
They look
pie.
like a pair of binoculars, but they're like they've got this wheel thing on it, and you put this this thing in the slot, and it has a little trigger on it, and you can pull it. And it I had a 3D one. Like you could look at things, and it would basically look like
Wait a
something.
minute. Are you talking about those red things? That you,
Well,
Well, some
Yeah.
of them were red.
Those.
The ones
Yeah,
I
mine was
the
blue.
ones I know were red. Yeah, but I know there were different colors.
Yeah,
So.
mine was blue.
Yeah,
But
slide
my point
shoes
is,
on it.
but I was just saying at that time that was a popular toy. So he was Yope was still thinking in toy when he did the Virtual Boy, and that's what he said was one of his mistakes of thinking still of as a toy. So he understand that he messed up, and of course Yamuchi knew he messed up. That's why he did it. But I mean, he was still like I said, he still did a lot of schematics that came to a lot of the consoles that we have now, and I can't for that. And I think the last thing I was gonna say before I leave out was to the producer, and I did it in my video. To the producer of Final Fantasy 15, stop lying, please stop lying, stop twisting the story. The game's a flop. It was a flop. You're not gonna send 10 million by November, so stop.
Well, I mean, look, man. Maybe the horse will sing. I mean, it could.
Actually,
I mean, probably not.
You know how much Xbox, which is sad, but you know how much this. Well, I think you listen to the podcast. You know how much Xbox sold of Final Fantasy 15 last month.
Look, Liger, you don't have to explain to me. I knew that game was F when they said we're putting it on the Xbox One. I'm like, why? Why? What? You would have done better putting already doing the portable version at the same time and putting that on the 3DS. Then you would have made your money back right there. But no, no, we can't put our shit on. We can't put a real Final Fantasy on the Nintendo console because we got in bed with Sony, and that we've really been doing well since we got in bed with Sony.
But I'm just I'll just say I was on the team. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a flop. It is. It's not selling. They did not make their money back. It needs 10 million. It's at It's over 6.5 million right now. Xbox was at 1.16. The PlayStation was at 5.52, and like I said, last month they only sold 498 copies of the game.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much hit. It's hit most of its lifetime sale because even if they put it on the Switch, like the real version of the game, I don't think that's gonna like most of the people who really want Final Fantasy have already bought it for one of those for the Sony console or the
PlayStation.
Yeah,
or the
I want to know. I'll be honest. The question will be this, and we've seen it now. Is their write-off going to be towards Square Enix Europe or Japan? Because like I said, Japan now, they're taking the head out of Octopath Travelers.
Yes.
Dragon Quest is selling good. Like they're now, Square Japan now is making. I don't know how the money allocation is going right now, but their games are now selling very well
I don't
on
know.
a Nintendo console. Because the 3DS sold way more than PlayStation when it comes to Dragon Quest.
Well, yeah, I mean because that's basically like I don't know. I mean I don't know. I mean I seriously don't know why Square Enix even in Japan had this weird because over the years you've seen that them supporting them putting certain franchises do not do well on a home console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, like I said, it did sold over 1 million in PlayStation 4, so it was not lackluster for that either. But the 3DS doubled that.
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons the people out there going back to the original topic. That as when Red Fox just jumped in. That's why you support the 3DS, you morons. That's money on the table.
That's the thing. I'm like,
I want to walk away from that. It's cheaper to develop. This Metroid that just came out it's gonna make his money. This is gonna be the most successful Metroid because the cost to make the game is relatively low to what the sales is gonna be.
Yeah, and plus you have this huge install base, and I mean short overhead because it's on the 3DS. Which at this point, I'm pretty sure at Nintendo they can make a 3DS game with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta make a 3DS game. Yeah, okay, fine. Then I'll knock that out over a week. There you go.
Like I said, I give my hats off to Mercury Steam for what they're doing with the game, and they did a great job of doing what they did on it. But you still had Sakamoto, you still had Tetsu Tanabe, you still had coders that came from Nintendo to work on the game.
Oh, yeah.
Guide Mercury Steam.
Yeah, so Mercury Steam helped do some of the grunt work, and that's good. Don't get me wrong, but the coding and making everything come together was on Nintendo side. So, because I saw me and Triple M saw a thing where a person said Metroid was never made.
Hey,
made by
Duo?
Nintendo.
I was about to add on to that because the difference between Mercury Steam under Konami and Mercury Steam under Nintendo is that you could tell when Nintendo really does give a shit, they will not hesitate. They will make sure that game is of top quality, especially when they're working with a Western developer.
You know, I don't even think that was the case. I think they were just like, look, we saw how you messed up Castlevania. You ain't doing that in our franchise. We gonna have someone watching your ass. Because as someone who actually like played God of Waravania, that Mercury Steam was like, yeah, this is a great game. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, you know, look, I was kind of like, look, y'all better have one of your best people looking at these people and watching them all the time.
Well, they had a team. So.
Yeah. But then again, we know Nintendo knows how to put people in charge of stuff and watch people. Because, I mean, let's not forget, when Retro was messing up, they sent Miyamoto and Tanabe over there, and and they whipped their ass into shape. So, you know, Nintendo knows how to get people in line. You know, they're not going to let you mess up their IPs. Because as a video game company, their most important thing are their IPs. They aren't going to just let any old Yahoo come and mess up their stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we still remember what happened. What was the rumblings with this American developer was a European developer, and they were working on a Kid Icarus game.
Well, yeah, Factor 5. Factor 5 was supposed to make the Kid Icarus, the new Kid Icarus game instead of HAL over at Nintendo, but Nintendo wanted a more kiddie version of Kid Icarus, kind of like they have in Smash Brothers Brawl, and instead they went with a darker version of Kid Icarus, and it was like, all right, that's okay, we'll do it internally.
We'll pull the plug.
Yeah, well, no, they just did it internally. I mean, and here's the thing, that game could have helped bring Factor 5 back, but
well, they are back. They're back now. Let's see what they have because they redid themselves. So they ain't done no games yet, but they are officially back now, and they said they want to work with stuff. And if I have to take one more pop shot, sorry, Dr. Feelgood, I don't mean by this, but it's also seeing what Suda 50 said, and a certain person flipping their words now. Jackass.
No apology needed, man. You know me.
That person said some bullcrap in my when he was debating me, talking about, man, you should go for the money. You should put up. Oh, and now you say, well, yes, 251 knows what Nintendo's likes, and I'm like, did I not say that to you specifically?
That person's almost like someone who went and bought some refreshing, and somehow just like in the middle of it, someone sold them crappy, refreshing beverage, and then they're like, oh well, you know, they should just go with it. But this person made you sick. Nah, man, you should just, you know, you should let them slide. But it's bad. It's bad refreshing beverage. It's making you ill.
No vitamin C there.
Don't forget, Liger. On top of that, you said the reason why Suda didn't make any games for the Wii U because he saw that it wasn't selling. I'm like, bull crap.
It wasn't that because Ubisoft still has the rights to No More Heroes. They gave Travis Touchdown back to 15 months. Like I said, if Rabbit sells, I guarantee you, if there's a No More Heroes 3, how much you want to bet Ubisoft's going to publish it?
Oh shit.
I'm just saying they're gonna get 251 to do the game. I'm not. I bet you it's not gonna be XC. It's not gonna be Vanillaware, who normally publishes his games. It's going to be Ubisoft. They're like, well, that's sold. So yeah, we're gonna take the money back. They're gonna do like Square Enix now with Bravely Default and say, yeah, they tell you publish the game and get the money back.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. I'm like, you have so little faith in your own product that you basically are letting Nintendo get a cut of the money, and that's a little either that or you don't have enough money to publish it your own damn self. You're doing some shady stuff.
Well, but like I said, but Octopath is looking really good. I like what they've done with it. So let's see if that's the new step they're gonna take.
I played Octopath Traveler, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, that's a good demo. That's a good demo. So,
but I will say like Primrose's story, from what I've seen from other people's playthroughs, like I think that one seems stronger than Obelix.
Well, you have 6 more other, and then you have 6 more other people to play later on. So,
and plus, it's a demo. You don't really, you can't judge an entire game from a demo. But
I know.
What I will say
for me,
what I will say is that the game really does is that the game gives me that like old school Final Fantasy vibe that we don't get anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing the demo. I'm like, well, why don't these people make the damn Final Fantasy shit?
I got you. But other than that, like I said, that's good. They got games coming out nonstop. And I was just talking to my sisters a while ago before, we just talked to her mom and stuff, and it was like, she was like, wait a minute, so Fire War is coming out, then right, a week after that gonna be Mario Odyssey. Then I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like,
like every single beta is like new games announced for the system.
Like, can you give me a break? And my wallet is screaming.
Yeah, like I said, Nintendo needs to come out with the Nintendo System Plus, where basically you give them like you buy into it, you give them like $100, $200, $300, you pick what you want, and they ship it to you. That's
just co-op it. Just
send it to me when it's ready. Now,
they need to freaking improve My Nintendo though, like for real.
Yeah, that needs to be worked on. That needs to work on if they want to do that. And we'll see if they're gonna do it. Knowing, and like I said before, knowing Nintendo, they're gonna wait until the last week of December to tell you what the hell they're gonna go with an online system.
Well, in response to what you said earlier or whatever, about Ubisoft and sales, I just read an article where they say Mario Rabbids is far the best-selling third-party game on the Switch.
Second-party game, but okay.
Well, they call it third-party, but
I was gonna say second party.
Yeah.
But as far as made by someone outside Nintendo, it's the best-selling game.
On the Switch, but I saw the article too. I need numbers. I like numbers.
Yeah, I want to see numbers as well. They haven't released the numbers yet, which I thought was weird, but I'm pretty sure it probably hit 400,000.
Yeah, I'm not surprised in that. I would be happy that it did, but like I said, I like to see numbers. That's just the way I look at things. If you're gonna claim something, give me the numbers. If you ain't gonna claim it, then I'll be quiet. It's up there, but again, that's good. That's good that it's up there. Let's see what it is. But I mean,
who knows? Maybe it actually surpassed 400,000 copies. Maybe it actually sold over 1 million.
That would be good. If he sold over 1 million, then that would be the 7th game. I think right. That would be the 7th exclusive game for Nintendo that sold over 1 million for the Switch, which is unprecedented. No console has done that.
The reason he's saying it's about the numbers is because many times a lot of these third-party companies will give you a number. This is the highest selling blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but that means nothing if you don't have context, and that's where you want to see the numbers. Or at least
that's what I'm saying that. But let me see, because Zelda, Mario Kart, ARMS, on the Switch, Splatoon. So yeah, I was wrong. 6. So there'll be the 6. If that does sell 1 million, 6 exclusive in the first year, in the first basically 7 months. sold over 1 million. That's unprecedented. No console's ever done that. So
Yep.
if they do that, they will continue the trend. And if Hyrule Warriors does the same thing, and we know Mario's gonna do that. No if ands or buts, Mario's gonna do that. That would be wow. This year is something in gaming I don't think will ever happen again.
Nope.
This is a
No.
fluke. This right here is a super fluke. The 7th
I
gen.
like it in the bottle.
This is a super fluke. The genie in the bottom of my foot. They squashed that bottle and told that genie, "You ain't going back in that bottle." because it's selling like crazy. All these exclusive are selling, which Nintendo makes way more money on these than anything.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Duo? I want to tell you this too. You know this. The Nintendo's, all these people, these so-called gamers, like to say that, oh, Nintendo needs to make a powerful system, and it needs to have all these features. Well, the Switch has like the least amount of features since the Nintendo GameCube.
Not really. No.
Not really. No.
No.
Are you talking about like streaming services?
Like media, like media
Explain.
apps and all this.
Explain. I think you might get it mixed up. Explain what you mean by features, so we can understand you.
Yeah, that's not fair if he's talking about like Netflix and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of like modern consoles, like this is like how how like the Nintendo GameCube, how it pretty much didn't have some of the features like the PS2 and the original Xbox had.
The only thing they didn't have was online. That's the only thing was missing.
Yeah, but the GameCube had online.
In a way, but not like
no, it wasn't built in. But neither was online built in for the PS2. You still had to have the little adapter thing in order to use the online. So,
yeah. I mean, right now the Switch has an IR reader. It has HD rumble. It has gyroscopes.
It has motion control.
Yeah, motion control. Features wise.
I'm guessing what Gil's gonna say.
Like online. I'm talking about like kind of like online features per se. Like how I put this?
I
mean like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon.
That was not on the PlayStation. That was not on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Compared to what the Wii U had before. I'm not going to say...
Okay, you said Wii, but you said GameCube. That's what I was trying to make sure you were saying, because GameCube just was basically a glorified graphics box. Really, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in terms of, like, lack of features, like, the GameCube was...
Compared to the competitors.
Compared to the
competitors.
The only thing they didn't have, but the only thing they didn't have was the online service. That's it. That's one.
What I'm trying to say is that the gaming community is calling out Nintendo, saying that they need to make a powerful system,
which they did,
unquote, and they want the system to be like a friggin' PC, I don't know,
or PS4,
in a box, or a PS4.
Okay. This is why I'm saying I'm getting confused. You said back to the GameCube. Back in the GameCube, the only thing that the GameCube didn't, and the two features the GameCube didn't have. One was the DVD player, and the second was the online. That's all it didn't have. It had more power than the PlayStation 2. That's for sure. The Switch right now doesn't have Netflix, which they just announced Netflix is coming on. Nintendo just put it on their Twitter feed or whatever it was. It's gonna come on. I don't care for. I buy games to play games. Sorry, that's just me. So I'm indifferent from all that crap. But again,
my anime,
whatever. But again, this console has features that other consoles have not, because they now has.
I know that. I'm not trying to say.
But you're talking. Here's my thing. You're doing an argument. You're doing a straw man argument. You're talking about these people who don't care for stuff. They care for just being popular. They think this graphics is what makes things popular. That's it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Switch, while it's not the most powerful thing out there compared to its competitors, it may not have as much, the quote-unquote standard features that the competitors have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not have the quote-unquote standard features that the other consoles have to a degree, the Switch came out and simply dominated this year within the past 6 months.
7 months.
6-7 months.
Yeah,
This
man.
system has proved, like people like Chi Guy, who's been saying that, and still,
Chai
beats on
Guy.
his chest. Chai Guy.
Shy guy.
Is it
I know.
Chi
I know.
or-
I think I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. I know the guy you're talking about.
who still beats on his chest to this day that power is always important. It's always important.
It's never been important. Just like
That's what I'm saying.
just what Gunpei Yokoi just told you, and I've said this multiple times on my channels. Game design is the most important thing. Power is a tool.
Let me put
Yes.
exactly. Power is only as good as how you use it. Like for example, there are games that are coming out for the PS4 Plus and for the Xbox, the triple Xbox that run worse. That run worse than games that came out that run worse than for the OG Xbox One and for the PS4. So I mean, the extra power isn't doing anything to make these games run better. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the power argument is bullshit.
Exactly.
bullshit.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's
It's always
been
been bullshit.
Yeah, because
basically,
sorry, go ahead, man.
if these people really wanted power, they'd own a PC. Okay, they
That's
wouldn't
true.
even. They wouldn't even have. They wouldn't even
But I
have.
mean, but even when saying that, Red Fox and Shadow Fox brought this up in one of my podcasts. He said even with all the PC, even with all the power of PC, you can have a PC that has 32 gigabytes of RAM. You can have 2, 3 Titans in there. He says, but don't games on the PC still have invisible borders and walls
Yeah, well, that's the
with all
thing.
that power?
No one's using the power correctly. Like we aren't getting bigger worlds. We aren't getting
Because of
smarter
design.
AI.
No,
We're just
because of
getting.
design.
We're just getting. Oh man, look! You can see this dude. You can see the pores on this person's face. But is that making the game
I'm
better?
sorry, I don't really
No.
care about the follicles on on Nathan Drake's scrotum. Okay, I don't care.
But we know that as Nintendo fans, we know this. Nintendo,
I mean-
the Switch is doing it right now, but Nintendo's done this multiple times on the handheld side.
It's just that now
Yeah.
it's so obvious that people have no choice because, in other words, when it came to the Wii U, it was obvious to people like us, but you still had the other people playing the power argument. Now these people are tired, got worn out over the 7th gen with all the shooter after shooter after shooter. Now all you see PlayStation and Xbox doing, all you see them doing is remastering old games that came out on the last gen console, or hell, games that actually came out at the end of the last gen cycle. There's nothing much they're doing, or they're bringing back old ass games. They're saying they call them remasters, but they look worse. I'm looking at the Batman Arkham Collection that looked worse than the Wii U version.
Dang.
I mean, but
Yeah.
even still,
And don't
people
forget Tales
are
of
starting to
Symphonia.
see. They're starting to see the bullshit. Wow. So basically, PlayStation, what you got coming out this year, outside of Horizon Zero Dawn and maybe one other game,
Which
you're
is an
still the same shit I had
expansion.
last year.
Yeah, I mean, they're bragging about an expansion. I'm like, really?
But not even
really
that.
though?
If you look at the library of games, it's the same shit. You
Yeah.
either get a remaster, you get a remaster game from the 7th gen, or you get a new game that's basically last year's iteration with better textures. But that's
Now-
it. Their whole
now-
library, for the most part, nothing has changed. So when
Now-
you realize that
And
Sony and
now-
Microsoft don't have any good libraries, you look at the Switch like, damn, they got
Now-
ARMS, they got Pokken coming, they got Breath of the Wild, they also have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a port, of course, I understand that. You got all these other
Pokken's also a
games
port, too.
coming out, and they're all so different.
but we're still getting
And-
unique games. We're still getting new and unique games.
Yep.
Though.
exactly.
Now, here's the thing. What I want to say. Now, if any point in time that Sony or Microsoft is going to come out with their next gen console, actually with the Xbox, they're already getting that started. But when that happens, is anyone is going to have that deja vu that someone is going to come out and say the Switch is basically 2 Wii U's duct taped together?
They're already saying it now.
Yeah, but it makes
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, man.
But
I'm not
it makes
surprised.
again, like we all talk, it makes no sense. Game design is game design. You make the game, and it's gonna be fun no matter what. That's what it is. It doesn't need power. It doesn't need a lot of stuff. If you could come up with a creative idea and you make it work, it's gonna sell majority of the time. So this power argument is been irrelevant all the time. I've said that on my channel multiple times and see that because I'm laughing. I saw somebody do a video about saying about Nintendo compressing Mario Odyssey 6.5 gigs. Why Nintendo can't share that sauce with a lot of other people? Well, halfway to cleaning up that problem is to freaking clean up your codes, and they don't. Third party does not do it. They don't clean their codes up, and that's where the bugs happen.
That's why I get mad about these people. Like, oh, I gotta get a micro SD card for this kind of other game. I'm like, these third parties can't compress worth a damn. Blame them.
I mean, but not just that. I mean, let's just keep it real. You've always look as games have gotten bigger and more expansive. You just at a certain point you had to get more memory. I mean, hell, remember when we had an N64? At some point, if you got certain games, you would have to get your hands on a memory card. So I mean, I don't see what the problem is. Oh, I can't do this. Like, what are you whining for? That's why you can. I mean, I could see if like they were like, just. And memory cards aren't that expensive. You can get a 128 gig memory card for like $30 on Amazon. Just enough. And 128 gigs, unless you're doing like major downloads of third party games.
All third parties, because again,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay?
So these guys complaining. What about your Xbox One, PS4 that it came with a 500 gigabyte hard drive? No, you had to delete games because I have enough memory.
Not even 500 terabytes.
Before you even have to switch them.
People are doing that with terabytes as well.
They don't bring that up because it's not an issue unless Nintendo does it. Don't you know that?
Yeah.
Freaking 125 gig game install. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, there's no. The only way a game could get away with having that big of a game install is if you were giving me a game that was the size of a world. Like literally an entire big, huge world.
You know what I can't wait to see? And I know this is going to be really far in the future, probably about 10 years.
Hold on. This just came in, 2 hours ago. While speaking about performance, apparently Rive runs at 1080p and 60 frames per second on Switch. And here's the kicker, and I can't believe some people are actually saying this. Smoother than the PS4 version.
That's impossible.
That is impossible.
Wait, Rive, that
it looks kind of like the Wind Waker, but it's
You mean the game that no one on the PS4, Xbox One actually was going to buy? Because I mean, look at it; looks just like Breath of the Wild. It's so colorful. Who wants that?
Now you got
what I was gonna say is that I can't wait 10 years from now when Nintendo, let's say 4K becomes a norm and it becomes a thing in gaming, and Nintendo makes like a 4K Zelda game and it only takes up like 10 gigabytes.
I don't think
that's exaggeration. I mean, but even still, if Sony and Microsoft got games that are 720p, 30 frames per second, and need 50 and 60 gigabytes, I can see Nintendo making a 4K game with them big compression guys. That bitch would be like 15 gigs max. You're like, hold on, how do you make a game that was the same size as Breath of the Wild 10 years ago, but now this bitch is in 4K?
Well, I mean, let's keep it real though. The Wii U had Xenoblade Chronicles X, which and Breath of the Wild, and those games are larger than all of the. If you took, they have larger gaming worlds than all the other open world games that have come out for the last 2 or 3 generations combined, and they're smaller. What's up with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And considering for Breath of the Wild, it looks amazing, you know.
And like I said, to add on to the thing that Nintendo did this year, like I said, this is such a fluke. Nintendo has. This will be. I'll end it with this. If there's a VGAs this year, if there's a VGAs this year, and all the at the end of, and also from GameSpot to Polygon to all that bullcrap which I don't care about. If your nominees for the game of the year ain't 2 games from Nintendo, you're full of shit.
Well, it seems like Nintendo might run away with it. Really.
At
Well,
least.
no. I know they're gonna win, but I'm just saying. Breath of the Wild
I know
and
one
Mario.
thing. I know one thing. If NBA 2K wins best art style, I'm done. If NBA 2K wins best art style, like what game was it last year that won best art style? Was it like Metal Gear Solid or some shit?
Metal
Oh
Gear
yeah.
It was literally it was literally some shooter. I'm thinking best art style, but it just looks simply realistic.
No.
There's nothing
It
special
is
about
Metal
it.
Gear Solid 5. Yeah, it was Metal Gear Solid 5 that won best art style.
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking best art style. Like what art style? You mean dark and gritty that's been going on for 10 years?
Well, I mean, you have to
Realism.
remember the gaming community likes to get on their knees and blow Hideo Kojima because they think he's a genius.
I'm gonna troll again.
It's Hideo
If
Kojima,
if-
so it must be awesome.
If Battlefield 4 wins best online game, I'm done.
It might.
It might.
That new Star Wars might win it.
If Marvel's Capcom
Battlefront
wins,
If if Street Fighter 5 wins best DLC, I'm done.
I'm about to say best fighting.
What
I
about
thought you
what
were about to
about
say best fighting
if
game. I was saying
If Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite wins best fighter.
over like Arms or Tekken.
Yeah.
or
I would say Tekken.
Yeah,
will
one
be-
second.
Tekken. That's a
You know, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Arms is gonna get Fighter of the Year.
No, I don't think so either. Tekken, I would say it would have to be.
Yeah,
but
I think Arms may get probably new IP.
They might
but that's
get
gonna be a long
nominated,
leap.
but they ain't gonna get it. Yeah.
But that'd be a long leap over Horizon Zero Dawn. But I think it will be in the new IP category, and it may end up being runner up.
Could be.
Could be.
Because you know the PlayStation fan wants to be riding that Horizon dig. I already know. It's gonna happen.
Come on.
Oh well. All right. Well,
Now,
listen,
I'm gonna say right now, if Zelda doesn't win best open world game, I'm done.
they have a category like that. I don't follow.
Skyrim. What is Skyrim on Switch?
Okay,
wins
dude.
it?
They
That was
made
game of the year.
they made a category for best mobile game, and they
Yeah,
made a category for
I
best
know,
online game. So I can see them saying best open world game goes to Uncharted.
Whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, sir, I'll let you guys continue. Thank you, Doc. Like I said, hope you keep an eye. Like I said, praise God for a couple of comrades down in the Caribbean. Hope they keep in contact with us because it's said Ronnie and CB and all those guys that they're not gonna hit hard by that last storm.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Well, thanks for coming by, and yeah, if you do speak to him, like definitely.
Well, like I said, I just got contact with my mom, so I'm happy that she's all right. And it's been like 4 days to hear from her, so she's all right. So that's good. But that storm went right over Puerto Rico. So
Yeah.
I think right now they said there's no power on the island. So
No,
For the next 4 to 6 months.
What?
So, well,
That's how bad it is.
Well, when the hurricane hit St. Thomas, when I was living there, we were out of power for 5 months and warm. So, hell,
Damn. Well, y'all need FEMA or something.
No, we
Police.
don't. It's called. You were rugged and you live off the land. Like, a lot of people can't do that shit in America, but we did back then. So, but yeah, thanks for letting me on, Doc. Like I said, I'm gonna head out and take care of family business, man. Catch you later.
All right, man.
All right.
Peace.
Thank
See
you.
ya, dude.
No, but to add on to what Liger was saying, what he brought up, I'm telling you guys, I expect at least 2 new categories this year. At least 2 new categories. They're gonna do this so Sony and Microsoft can win something.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Watch it be some like best resolution or something.
You know, I could see that happening.
I can see that.
I mean, look, they can't have another situation where Nintendo
You know,
runs
best
away with a lot of
resolution's
stuff.
it's gonna go to Forza 7 for being native
Best racing game?
supposedly.
Well,
That
Forza,
was the best racing game.
really? Well, whatever.
No, best racing game. That's gonna go to Project Cars to be in 12K.
Man, you gotta
Had to go
stop
there.
doing that. You gotta
Had to go
stop
there.
doing that.
Look, I'm simply saying this, man. If you look at the Switch, even now, after 6.5 months, if you look at the Switch, basically look at all the genres that have dropped for the Switch, which is almost every genre in gaming.
Yep.
We're getting
That's
a good
open world.
RPG.
That's open world action RPG. Okay, I don't even think Persona 5 is going to touch that. To be honest, it's not. Go
What you
to
got against Persona 5, man?
I mean, if you want to go to if you want to go to RTS, in all honesty, I mean, I know what did Halo Wars 2 drop this year? I
Yeah,
think
they
it did.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that game did not
It only
do.
moved like 170,000 copies. Like I think it's like less than 200,000 copies.
It's
Yeah,
not
actually
a well.
flopped.
It's not a very good game. That's the thing. It's kind of shitty, actually. It's
Yeah, I
I'm pretty
actually
sure
played
Mario
the.
I'm
Rabbids.
surprised by
I'm
that.
I'm pretty sure Mario Rabbids is going to take off and win Best RTS. They at least
eh,
they should, unless
I'm
Fire
not gonna
Emblem
go
takes
that
over.
far. I think it'll do. I think it'll do okay. I think it'll be definitely be nominated. It'll be recognized, but I don't think it's gonna win it just because
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man. This is the video game awards. This is where Jeff Keighley's like my good friend Hideo Kojima. Like Hideo Kojima's his man or something. But
Evolve.
Yo, let's just say
look,
this.
I'm not the one who said
Remember,
that.
I'm like one of those people who are super salty by the fact that Super Mario Galaxy 2 was not even nominated for Game of the Year in 2010's VGAs. You know?
But look, you need to consider one thing. The the curtains have been pulled back, and the Switch has done it. The Wii U started doing it because despite the Wii U's sales in comparison to all Nintendo's other consoles, with the exception of the Virtual Boy, we were seeing good game and great game one after another in the Wii U's later years. We really were, and even then, the curtain has started being pulled back. The Switch has now shown even the most devout PlayStation and Xbox gamer that when I look at these games, and it may not be the most realistically visual games, um, but at the end of the day,
They're
they
fun.
look fun, they perform well, and I could take them anywhere. And it's not some dumbed down. No offense, but it's not some dumbed down portable experience like you get on a 3DS, which is handheld. It's a full console game. At this point,
Nor is it's a console like experience like the PSP and the PS Vita.
exactly. So at this point, like I say, the excuses, not many left. And when it comes to the lies,
Man, you
how many
know
more
they're gonna
lies can
come
you
up with
tell?
more excuses.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna come out with more
They,
excuses to not
dude, they
support.
can, but they can try. But this gimmick of the Switch is kicking their ass because even though you may try to downplay the Switch's version of the game is not the most superior version. You cannot say it's a horrible version. You can say it doesn't look as good, but motherfucker, it plays the same
And
through
that's
and through in most cases. And the fact is, even he posted a picture on Twitter today. He says, "Guess what? My Xbox, my PlayStation stuck at home. Meanwhile, my Switch can fly."
Oh yeah,
Oh,
And
Mr. T said
he
it.
showed a picture. He took a picture of the damn plane's wing in the sky, and he's playing his damn Switch.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but no amount of remote play. I don't give a shit how good the Wi-Fi is. Can give you that.
Yo,
oh,
there's times where I will always play my Nintendo Switch during my subway rides, and again, I'm in a group known as Switch and Play NYC, where we're pretty much a Nintendo Switch meetup group, where we play the Switch like in a yeah in a certain place like parks or
in a social setting.
in a
Yeah.
social setting, you know. And
But
we're
as I
doing
said,
everything there.
but the excuses, they're running out. The lies, you told the same lies last gen, but now this gen, the games are actually coming. The games are
but
actually performing on par, if not better, than their HD twin brethrens. And on
but you
top of that, we can take it with us. So, what other lies can you really and truly tell?
Well,
And even if
they'll
let's
think
say,
of something.
but
but you know
let's say they're
you
right.
know what it's got. But you know what it's when I look back, it's kind of ironic that these third-party publishers are much more creative in the telling lies than to making games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're better at coming up with reasons why they can't support a Nintendo console than putting games on a Nintendo console, which is embarrassing. But that's how gaming is these days. It's sad, but
Final 10.
Yeah, but I can definitely say, man. Like I say, the curtain's been pulled back, and at this point, none of these bastards really have another console coming out anytime soon. In fact, they've already dropped their next gen, current gen, half-ass upgrades, which aren't doing that well either. So it's kind of like, at the end of the day,
is that all you got, bro?
like,
Yeah,
like
that's how I
honestly,
feel. Like, really?
and,
That's it?
and people don't have to agree, but guess what, folks? Even to the haters, guess what? The Switch is literally the Nintendo's ninth gen console.
Yep.
You can look at the specs and call it 8.5 if you want to, but technically it's about twice the power of the Wii. So it technically is the ninth gen console. It's Nintendo's next console. The PlayStation 4 Pro is not ninth gen. The Xbox One X is not ninth gen because
Oh,
they basically still playing all the old games, and it's not backwards compatible.
you know,
Plus, there are a
speaking
bunch
about
of
that,
9.5 upgrades. I mean,
But the Switch,
8.5
yeah.
upgrades.
but you know what? Speaking about that, apparently people are saying, or at least this one analyst is saying that if Sony's going to release a PlayStation 5, it's going to be by 2020, or was it 2021? And if
But
that's the case, it's like oh, so Sony is if that's the real case, then Sony is trying to do this whole 10-year plan once again because they've tried to do that with the PlayStation 3, but
Yeah.
they got scared because of the whole Wii U. So now if they're actually going to doing this, I might as well give props to Sony at least for that. That they come up with this plan and they actually go through with it.
Man, you know, Sony ain't
2020,
gonna wait no till
2020 is
2020.
not 2020 is not 10 years. That would
Yeah,
literally only be 7 years.
yeah.
So, but here's the thing with that.
Well,
Okay, the PlayStation 3, it wasn't 10 years, it was 7. Both companies got spooked by the Wii U.
They was just
Well,
supporting until this year. But yeah. Yes.
so basically, if you truly think about it, they've already lost the ninth gen, and the reason why is the same reason they jumped the gun and released two consoles back in 2013. The main reason they've already lost the ninth gen is because by the time their real ninth gen consoles come out, Nintendo will have had the market to themselves for 2 to 3 years. It's over.
Yep.
I mean, what are they gonna do?
Nintendo.
Even if they drop PlayStation 5 November of next year, guess what? The Switch has already had over a year and a half by itself. The
Yep.
hype is there. It's been built up. Hell, the Switch, it's gonna probably move about 10, 15 million units when the year is over with. If they can keep up with the stock, if they can keep up with the demand, they can do that. It's done. They are the reason they made these mid-generation jumps, these upgrades. They needed something to fill in the gap because the PlayStation 5 is nowhere near. And if you're making a PlayStation 4 Pro right now, that means you're basically saying your next console is gonna be 4K native for real.
And which is going to
You
increase
ain't
the
ready for
amount of
that.
money they have to spend in order to make their games, even more, making it less profitable. So, I mean,
And
either way,
meanwhile,
it's
the
just
Switch
not
is ruling with an iron fist with 720p and 1080p.
and being cheap. So, I mean,
It's done. Ninth gen belongs to Nintendo. I'm telling you, PlayStation, Xbox needs to go ahead and skip it. Don't even try for the ninth gen. You've already lost. You're already 5, 6 million units behind. Don't expect to
well,
catch
I
up.
mean,
When the shortages stop, don't expect to catch up. Just
it's
don't.
not even the amount of units. I mean, it's the profitability. I mean, the Xbox One still isn't profitable. The PS4 just got profitable, like barely eking out a profit a few years ago. So, I mean, like, you know, their first party games aren't making that much money. Didn't we just say Halo Wars bombed? Halo Wars 2 bombed?
Yeah.
And that's Halo. That's like one of the core franchises
Of gaming.
of,
Period.
of gaming, but especially of Microsoft. That bomb. I mean, could you imagine? That's like Mario Party bomb. Even Mario Party, when it doesn't sell well, makes money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's always someone who wants to play Mario Party. Me, I'm Mario Partied out, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
but I mean, but it's a done deal to me, man. Like I literally have no concerns with the Switch. For the first time in a long time was I did it was the same with my Wii U, but I look at my Switch and even though, when it comes to physical games I got about 8, I believe, I have to really contemplate what the hell I want to play because I have so many choices. So many choices.
Yeah, I
I'm looking
know.
like I could play Breath of the Wild because I need to play the DLC. Although I haven't finished the core game yet, I need what 2 more
Let me tell
shrines
you this.
and to beat Ganon. But it's not
Yeah,
that
let
I
me tell you
can't beat him;
this.
I just don't want to.
Man, you
Let
better
me tell
get
you
on
this.
that shit.
Dr. Feelgood. I barely play any of my Xbox One games nowadays.
What?
Yeah, I barely play any of my Xbox One games nowadays. Ever since I got the Switch.
Well, Gilligan, that's just not too bad because people in Japan barely play their games either.
Yeah, people
Say
ain't
what?
playing their Xbox anyway.
I
So
said people in Japan barely play their games either.
I'm the same exact way. I haven't touched Steam in a while, and I just recently started playing my 3DS again because of Metroid.
I've been starting playing my 3DS again because of Metopia, actually. Then Metroid. Which I actually 100%ed that one. And actually, I'm considering going back again, trying to beat it in 3 hours or so.
I'm trying to get her looking sexy.
Oh gosh.
You know what? We're gonna end it here. Well, I'm not gonna let this happen. Go ahead and give your sign offs because I know where the hell this is gonna lead. More, a whole bunch of damn waifu talk. Give me outro, damn it.
All right, Spike Remix here. A good podcast. That's it. I just externed all these Metroids, so if you excuse me.
All right, Mr. Redbox.
this is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. I might do as per usual, we have the Sci-Fi Power Hour this Saturday and BS Busters on Sunday. But for people trying to survive the wrath of Maria, I might put together a charity live stream. Not this week, but next week. That's when I'll have the time to really do it. But look forward to that.
Okay. And Gilligan.
This is Gilligan Stash here, and despite the fact that I have said before that I haven't played my Xbox One games in like a long time, I am considering doing like a series of streams where I'll be streaming some horror games on my Xbox One, and the first one is Alien Isolation.
Oh, you're not gonna play Zombie U or Zombie?
Zombie.
You mean Zombie
Yeah.
on the Xbox One?
Yeah.
Nah.
Player's like, no, bro, no.
All right, then.
No, man, I'm good. No.
I'd rather play that shit on the Wii U. Really, the Wii U is the best version for it. I don't care if it contains a new weapon, a new melee weapon. Even then, that's not even friggin' enough.
Really, all that extra power and all they added was a new melee weapon. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
That's just lazy. I'm sorry.
It is one of the laziest ports Ubisoft has ever done. They just took like literally the best things about Zombie U, and then just added a new weapon. That was it.
Is it a katana? Or is it another cricket? Is it like a baseball bat? They're like, well, now it's a baseball bat.
I think it's a baseball bat.
Oh,
I think it's a baseball bat.
Go ahead, Triple M.
The hell with that game.
Yeah, this is Triple M here. I just wanted to say, I've enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully, the guy, all the chaps up there that I'm trying to um, weather the storm. Heck, I was basically weathering one down here a while ago. But yeah, you guys just stay safe up there. Just hold on tight. And as for me over here, well, all I can say to you guys is try not to get switched. I'm signing out.
No, my friend, I hate getting switched. I had that happen to me once. It's terrible.
Okay. Well, then, I'm your humble host, Dr. Feelgood. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in. Thank all the panelists for coming. Also, the good shepherd who stopped by, Liger of Enduo. Um, Also, want to give a shout out to my good, good friend Brownie Takashi. You sensitive bastard, and you know what I'm talking about. But hope everything is well with you, man. Whenever you can, reach out. I know you're probably being battered right now by the storms, but definitely, keep you in the prayers and stuff like that. Hope, I hope everything's okay. But
Oh yeah. So I'm definitely wishing all the people who are being affected by the hurricanes safety and luck.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
and stay safe.
I also want to give a shout out to SK Massive. I know he was lucky enough to be on the opposite side, when Irma hit. But glad he's okay. Everything's doing well. You should have been here, you bastard. But I know you're probably trying to put things back together. But anyway, Dr. Feel Good signing off. And as I always say, keep it gaming.
Or
Bastards.
Or do you guys